All right, I just heard some of the commentary from DeAndre Ayton about how he's being utilized by the LA Lakers. He made a comment saying something along the lines that, they're trying to turn him into Clint Capella. And those two guys could not be any more different. Absolutely, completely different versions of players. Clint Capella is a rim rolling, rim defending, role playing big. And DeAndre Ayton is not exactly that. DeAndre Ayton is a finesse, skill, post playing, offensive focused big whose defense is average. Clint Capella's, especially in his prime, was above average, way above average. He was a very solid rim protector, very aware, active defender. DeAndre Ayton's just a little bit slower than that, and he doesn't have the motor that Clint Capella has. I think that's really what separates them. But DeAndre Ayton's a good player. He actually is a good player. There's certain things about his personality that make it where you kind of have to know how to handle him. And J.J. Redick clearly does not. The LA Lakers don't really know how to use him. And, this is a reoccurring theme. J.J. Redick is by far one of the worst coaches in the NBA. He is so obviously in the bottom quarter of the league. You got like 30 some odd coaches in the NBA. He's one of the worst of the last handful. I can't pinpoint and say he's the worst. I think he is, but I don't think it's fair to say he's the worst because there's some bad coaching going on. But he's one of the worst coaches. We're talking about a team in the LA Lakers that improved their roster and somehow has a worse record than last year and has had a very easy schedule riddled with teams that have been injured in terms of not having their best players when they've matched up with the Lakers. It's crazy. They find new ways to lose all the time. And it's really on him. In fact, the Lakers' defensive problems, that's on J.J. Redick. That's his problem. The Lakers don't practice. That's J.J. Redick's fault. The Lakers don't have a fundamental philosophy or plan on defense. That's his problem. His players are out of position and don't defend fundamentally correctly. That's his problem. He's not coaching them. They're not improving. That's a JJ problem. But let me get back to this DeAndre Ayton thing. Let me make things very clear about his role in the Lakers. DeAndre Ayton wakes up every day, goes to work, and is asked to just do something that he's not all that great at, which is defending. He's an okay defender. He's fine. He's not a world breaker. He's not Dikembe Mutombo. He's a fine defender. He defends his position just fine. But his role offensively is being wasted because there's 3 players on the team that dominate the ball. It's not a difficult concept to understand. There's only a certain amount of shots in a game based on possessions, based on the fact that there's 48 minutes to be played. LeBron takes over 16 shots a game. Luka takes over 22 shots a game. Austin Reeves takes 15 shots a game. How many are left for everybody else? DeAndre being one of them. They bring in Luke Kennard. Jake LaRavia some nights gets some looks. Marcus Smart some games takes 7 threes. Where are the shots going to come from in a disorganized, chaotic offense? The Luka offense is chaotic. It's high pick and roll or ISO whatever. The LeBron sets are exactly the same. Maybe the Austin Reeves stuff is a little bit more structured, but not really. So Luka and AR are having career highs in shot attempts a game. And Bron's still shooting 16 plus times a game. Where are these shots going to come from? Now, when LeBron was out for 15 games or whatever earlier this year, most of those games, Ayton was shooting 11 to 20 times a game. And many of those games were wins. I think they only lost 3 or 4 games in the time that LeBron was out for that first month and a half. More importantly, DeAndre Ayton's blocks and rebounds were up during that time. He was averaging almost 2 blocks a game, and he had many games with 10-plus rebounds. Now, he has several games with 5 or less rebounds and 0 blocks. That's the problem. Your coach of the LA Lakers does not know how to find ways to ensure that there's structure in the offense to get a guy like DeAndre Ayton going. You can play from and with DeAndre Ayton in the post. He can pass out of the post. He can look to get his own shots. There's going to be spacing because they have to respect Luka and AR and whatever the set is, if it's Bron, whoever the situation is. But their offense is chaotic. There's no process. It's just it's playground ball. This is really the problem. It's the guy pictured on the right of your screen. So I have a lot of critique for how JJ Redick is coaching this team. Somehow, some way, he has them like 7th in the West with all NBA talent across multiple positions and solid players who to supplement and that are not being used properly. And then they get scapegoated and blamed for him not having some type of a semblance of an offensive system. If you're not happy with the way the Lakers play and the games that they're losing, look no further than the person who is organizing or lack of organization for the team. It's not difficult. It's not complicated. It's a free-for-all in offense between Luka, Bron, and AR-15 that leaves little to nothing for anyone else. And if one guy ends up getting 5 to 10 shots, that means everybody else is left doing nothing. Ayton is the type of player that needs to be involved offensively, and it feeds into his confidence defensively. This is why the Lakers are finding it hard to win. This is why people are blaming Ayton, but really the blame needs to be passed on to the coach. He's not coaching. There's no philosophy. They're slinging crap at the wall every time they go down on offense. Why do you think they have so many games where they don't score 100 points? You have the league's leading scorer. You have 2 All-NBA players and an All-Star in AR-15, and you can't score 100 points on multiple occasions. You've been losing all these games. You got to be freaking kidding me. How are you not looking at JJ Redick as the problem? These people are lying to you. Sure, it's not a perfect fit, but you should not be having offensive problems. This makes absolutely zero sense.